They called him Ahab. The Polaris is loaded and ready, Flint. We need to go. Twist is tracking a squiddy in our vicinity. But you knew that already. Look, Flint, no one survives a confrontation with the Sentinel. What happened to the Pequod wasn't your fault. I'll see you back at Zion, Nova. I let the ship go and followed him uninvited into the unexplored ends of the city. I asked Flint about this, but he refused any conversation, and I knew him well enough not to press. This wasn't just some casual gesture, but an example of my total faith in him. You see, Flint was the first of us, the first collector. As children, we heard endless tales told in hushed reverence of his expeditions, braving sentinels, surviving for weeks in the cities, all to collect the broken remnants of human history. There were other stories, too. Tales I tried hard to forget as we marched past the very artifacts we were meant to be gathering. Many said he'd changed since he lost the Pequod and its crew to a Sentinel attack last year. They say it drove him mad, that all he sought out now was revenge and death. I couldn't let myself believe any of it. I wouldn't. We hiked for 3 days, barely stopping to dress our wounds. I still would not believe it. On the 4th day, I could no longer deny what was happening. As we walked past the wreckage of the Pequod, it became all too clear. I was a fool to follow him out here. We weren't collecting. We were hunting. So they were right about you. What does it mean to be a collector, Nova? These things we gather, the street signs and the hair curlers, how could they mean anything to a freeborn like yourself? I can value our past just as you did as an archaeologist, Flint. Ah, but that was just a lie crafted by the machines. I was just a battery that dreamed it was an archaeologist. Bullshit. You make your own choices about who you are. You taught me that. It was my idea to bring the Pequod out here, you know. We weren't finding enough around Zion to distinguish what in the Matrix was created by people and what was invented by the machines. I knew there must be more out here. There had to be. I was so sure we'd come across something incredible. The Sentinel was on us before we could arm the EMP. I watched it tear them to pieces. Remember that Sentinel we tracked back at the ship? I've led it here. Then you've killed us too. Maybe. It's time. Go, get back behind that wall and stay there. What the hell does that mean? Time for what? He barely whispered it, but the words screamed in my ears. No more running, Nova. I ducked out of the way and watched as the Sentinel rolled in towards Flint. It was the largest thing I'd ever seen. I could swear they both paused there, recognizing each other, and though his back was turned to me, I was sure Flint was smiling. It was suicide. You didn't fight Sentinels, you ran from them, you hid. But as the beast loomed over him, Flint stood his ground, unmoving. All of the air in the rotted-out building drew into him like a black hole. He wrenched it into his spear, crouching under its weight, and struck like that wind, now embodied. He'd been setting this up for months. This wasn't some hasty, crazed act of revenge. This was calculated, planned. This was surgery. A last stand against a world that had betrayed him. But suicide all the same. I believe now he wanted to die here, even wanted me to witness it. A warning I was supposed to bring back to Zion. A final death to the myth that brought us all out here, and to the legend he had become. But that could only happen if I lived to tell of it. Okay, Flint. No more running. I could have just stood there and let it strike. It would have been a quicker death. I was no match for this beast. I watched myself from behind that wall as I had seen Flint earlier. I knew how this was supposed to end. Without an Apu or so much as a lightning gun, no one had ever attempted what Flint just died doing. And now, what I was attempting. But I could not turn away. I thought of my family back at Zion, of the Pequod and its crew, of Flint. In a flash of white, I learned sentinels don't die. They malfunction. Against all reason I lived, but Flint was gone, and now I was supposed to kill his legend as well. I gathered the others from the Pequod and laid them here with them. Eventually, I searched the relics they'd found. And there was something incredible. Books. More than had been found in ages. It went against all that he'd taught us, but I tore a page from one to leave here with them. And then it struck me. I'm alive today because of Flint's myth, and I won't be part of killing it. Today, Flint, the Collector, beat the machines and unearthed a grand treasure. Zion's children would continue to be awed by him, and more will come collecting inspired by his legend.